I'm Emily, Super League presenter and amateur triathlete. Now I've done around 5 full Ironman and a couple of halves, but today I'm going head to head with Vincent Luis, who is an Olympic medalist, a world champion and a Super League triathlon champion. Now it's safe to say you are a pretty amazing swimmer, so how did you get into it?
So I started swimming because my sister was swimming. It was just easy for my parents to bring us both to the pool, so that's what I did. But yeah, I believe I've been swimming for way too long now. I can't remember when I started.
So today could be interesting as going head to head.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I've heard you train hard for this. I tapered a lot. I was a bit scared with the challenge, but yeah, that'd be really fun.
So today we are in Toulouse and we are going head to head for a 50-metre time trial using the SwimBETTER device. We are measuring our 50-metre time trial using the SwimBETTER device, which accurately quantifies our technique right from the pool deck. Now Vince, you've used the device.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be able to compare a lot of data, which is good. Pooling time, gliding time, recovery time, and we can find ways for you to improve. So I think it's really good, straight from the pool to the deck, and I think look at the app and bingo, you're back in the water faster.
And you've been using the device for a while. Now you're already a pretty perfect swimmer from what it looks like from the outside. How are you using it to get that bit better?
So yeah, I think even good swimmers can use it. There is always, like, if you work remotely for a coach, I think it's good because you have a direct feedback with the athlete. Also, if you're looking for some marginal gains, it's always good. You always improve, and you can always find small tricks like there and there that you can use the devices for. And yeah, since then I'm just swimming faster. I'm swimming with more economy, and yeah, it just makes you faster because you have the facts more than whatever you think is good.
So we've been saying we're going to race, but I hope we're not actually going to race. But we are going to do a 50-metre time trial so we can take a look at the data afterwards.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see your data. I've basically only seen mine, and there is not much data out already because it's a brand new product. So yeah, that'd be really interesting to see your data, and maybe we can find some trick to make you swim faster.
I hope we can. So we had a quick look at my data poolside, straight on the app as soon as we'd got out of the pool, but now we've had time to sit and digest it and want to see it properly and discuss exactly what it means and how it can help me improve my swim.
All right, so here we have the data from last night. So as you can see, there is 2 laps, 250s, total distance of 100 meters, 128 strokes. The average stroke rate is 42.3 strokes per minute, and the distance per stroke 156 on average. So it's basically interesting that we can see you more like a cadence swimmer, which is kind of irregular for endurance athletes, more than sprinters. And you have quite a high cadence, and which we can see later my implied glide phase that's not maybe optimal, but we'll see that after. Then we can see your left arm and right arm are similar, so it's good. You're kind of even on both sides, which is a good sign. Means you breathe on both sides, so that's a good point. The next thing I want to show you, and that's for me really important, is the force field. That's basically in which direction you apply the force when you swim, which is kind of important. So here, lap 1, stroke 1 on your left side. Let's take a random one. So every single stroke is here, the left in orange, the right in blue. So you pick a random one, let's say this one, right stroke. So what we can see is you applied, with your right arm, you applied a lot of force on the left side, which means your arm is basically crossing under your body, and that's what you want to avoid. Also, your force forward is not really high. It should be higher than that. It should be more than 40%. You know, the left and the forward are like really close together. It should be more like a 60% forward and like a 10% left, which means your stroke is really efficient to push the water behind you and not on the side.
And should it not actually be bigger on the right if it's my right side, or?
Yeah, it should be bigger or more even, at least. Yeah, because you want to push like in the middle and you want to push like having a movement forward. So yeah, that should be that. I think that's the main for you things that you can observe, and the more you're gonna focus on where your arms going, when your hands going, the more you're gonna see this number even left and right, and also the forward going up.
Okay.
And that's basically gonna translate it to a more efficient stroke and more just more water that you can push and move forward.
So in practical terms, that's literally, instead of moving across that way, it's just more...
Yeah, that's
ready.
it. That means you have a lot, also just seeing as this data, I can say that you have a lot of hip rotation.
Okay.
Because yeah, if your arm goes, obviously on your left side, your right arm, that means your hip have to turn. It has to turn. So yeah, that means it's... I think this graphic for you is showing that you're pushing water, you're just not really pushing it the right direction.
Okay.
So that's a good way, that's a really good way to improve for you. And then the last one I want to show you is the force versus time, which is gonna show us during the lap how is your force evolve, like if it goes higher, if it goes lower. But we can see here that, so same thing again, left arm is in orange and right arm is in blue, and you can see that your force starts quite high, like around 8, 7.5, but you can see with the fatigue that you're getting down, all the way up to, like, let's say 4, and then that's lap 1, and on lap 2 it starts around the same, and then you can see here that it goes down around 3. So that means with having a high cadence, you're a bit struggling to sustain the effort, which is something you can also work on with maybe taking more rest between sets, focusing more on your force field, your direction when you push the water, and all that things. But I think it's a really good translation of what we saw last night, which means you have a high stroke rate, like you have a high cadence, and by the end of the 50 you start to get tired.
So obviously I'm a good representation of your typical amateur athlete, and I can see some really obvious ways in which I can improve, but surely for your data it's not as obvious. So do you still find it useful, and like what do you look out for to help improve yours?
In the big pictures, the numbers are quite similar. Just, you know, for the stroke rate, maybe I'd be a bit lower, maybe a bit less stroke per minutes for me, maybe a bit more glide. Then for the force field, it's funny because I think we actually have the same issue. I also have problem with my hips rotating, mostly when I breathe. But yeah, I still have the same issue with my right arm pushing a bit too much on the left, and also my left arm pushing a bit too much on the right. So yeah, it's funny. It will be fun to put them side by side, because I think basically have the same issues. I might have a bit more force forward and maybe right and left a bit more even, but on the big picture, yeah, the issue is the same. And then the force versus time is also quite similar. I mean, we all get tired at the end of a 50 or at the end of 100, so we all get tired. Also my force is going down, and but I might start a bit, it's just a different scale. I might start around maybe 12 or 11 when you start around 8, but at the end of the day, just human, we all get tired.
So what would you say, before we finish off, the biggest problem here is the force? I'm losing force, bringing it to the wrong side. What top drill would you say is the best for kind of fixing that problem?
So what I will do, I will try to reduce the stroke per distance. So obviously doing maybe more like 50 reps without trying to go too fast, and being really focused on what you're doing with your hands, trying to like fix your hip, maybe doing also a bit of dry land work, like a bit of core to make sure you don't rotate too much, and being really focused, like keeping your head down, so it will also help stabilize your hip. And yeah, having some sort of like, you know, one arm stroke, making sure your arm doesn't go on your left side. I think you can also do this stroke with the devices, and it will also like show you the force field, and all this, like maybe mix it with some videos and having a look at where your arm's going. But just you know, if you keep your head down, use your arm and focus on where your hand is going. You can visualize it and make sure you correct it. And as soon as you are off the pool, just download the data and it will show up straight away on the force field diagram.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. It's almost a problem I didn't realise I have. So now that I'm aware of it and I can see it in the data, I can try correct it, and then I'm excited to compare it now that I know what I'm doing, and hopefully we'll have tweaked it and fixed it a bit for the next one.
Yeah, I'm excited for you, excited to see the progress.
Hopefully that's shown you just how much data you can get hold of with the EO product. I hope you found it interesting, I hope you found it useful. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we will see you on the next video.